Hi, I'm here to harp on about fluoride again for a little bit because I was speaking to my sister last night and she likes to call them debates. I like to call them arguments, but we were talking about fluoride and she doesn't believe in fluoride either, I don't think. Anyway, she's got a thing on her tap that's meant to take the fluoride out of her water. So, ergo, she must think it's bad too. But anyway, so I wanted to get on about this fluoride again for a minute because, and yes, I will keep bringing it up until people start to listen because I don't understand why maybe a few countries in the world have it and the rest don't, and yet our tooth decay is right up there with the rest of them that don't have it. Now, so my question is, why poison ourselves? And that's what we're doing. In fact, the government's doing it for us. They're poisoning us with stuff that we have no say in what they put in our water. They just put it in and decide it's good for us, when our tooth decay is right up there with the rest of them. And you also take this into consideration when you're thinking about, oh, okay, well, I have one of those filters on my tap. Now, first off, why do a lot of Australians have filters on their taps? To get that shit out of their water. And let's face it, if you could afford one, you'd have it on your tap. But then when you go to the dentist, you ask them what the safe level of fluoride is. And if they tell you, well, then you take into consideration, okay, well, that's if I have a glass of water. What if I drink 10 glasses of water a day? What about all the other food that the fluoride is in and put in for us? And you think, well, even those of you like me who live out in the country and have your own tank water, okay, say I go into town and I have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, they're making it with fluoridated water, they wash their vegetables in fluoridated water, and you're thinking, well, what sort of foods? Well, what about milk, skinny milk? In case you didn't know, skinny milk is just powdered milk. You know when you go to the shop and buy skinny milk? It's just powdered milk with water added. Where do you think they get the water from? When you have a can of Coke, where do you think they got the water from? That can of beer, that bourbon, the rum, where do you think the water come from to make those? It's all fluoridated water. It is in everything. So it's not only just in your tap at home and then you have a bath and you sit there and you lay in that stuff. So it's not just in that, it's in every single thing you eat and drink. And another thing that I've got to say this, it really pisses me off because Australia constantly follows America and we can all see how well they're doing. Why can't our politicians think for themselves, do our own studies? Why do you think all these other countries in the world reject fluoride in the water? And next time they get on the TV and they say, oh, we've done this study and it's fine to drink, you go into their homes and see which ones of those people they're talking to, including the reporters, have the filters on their tap to get rid of that shit out of their water. Here's also the other thing I just wanted to say is fluoride is a naturally occurring substance anyway, so you get it in your water naturally. It's in plants, it's in the soil, it's all around us naturally. So why add more of that shit? The other thing is, I just wanted to name some of these countries that don't have fluoride in their water. Luxembourg, France, Basel in Switzerland, they just voted 72 to 23 to have it taken out of their water. Chile, China, Austria, Belgium, Finland, Germany, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Netherlands, Hungary, Japan, Scotland, Northern Ireland, the Czech Republic, and now more and more states in the US are taking it out of their water too. So if fluoride's so fucking good for us, why do all of these countries reject it and have done studies saying how harmful it is? We are among a very few countries that have fluoride in our water. It is unnecessary. It causes fluorosis. You know those white specks you get in your teeth? That's fluorosis. You have fatigue, irritable bowel syndrome, Try taking the fluoride out of your water, and I mean out of everything you eat and drink. I tell you what, come out here and stay with me for a month. I'll cook for you, and you can drink and bathe in good water and see how much better you feel. What else was I going to say about that? I would say, and I was talking to my sister too, and she said, what you're saying, people know all about that. You go and mention that, they go, oh yeah, I've heard about that. I would just love to walk out into the street and ask how many Australians want fluoride in their water. And if you go to a dentist and they say fluoride's good for you, what I suggest is get up and walk out. And I want our politicians to stop fucking following every other country, especially the US, and think for yourself. Drag us into that shit. Let me just see what else I've put down here. In the 50 years of water fluoridation, there has never been a single double-blind study that has emerged that gives proof of lower decay with fluoride in it. And another thing is, when you go to these countries like Japan, Denmark, Germany, do you walk around the street and see all these toothless people with all this no teeth in their head? No. Use your brain. Use your brain. And stop using America as a paradigm, because we can all see how well that's going. I just wanted to add one last thing. I spent 13 years of my life on a farm with no fluoride. No fluoride in our water. Look at my teeth. Healthy, white, strong teeth. And without the aid of fluoride. Thank you very much. Smile and have a nice day. Zoom in on the teeth.